Alright, so this is my quick review of Imaginary, and to be honest with you, this movie is not good, and in fact it might be the worst movie of the year aside from Madam Web. Like I said for my trailer reaction for Imaginary, Blumhouse is 50-50 with me. They gave us really great movies like Black Phone, but they also gave us Five Nights at Freddy's, and they also gave us Night Swim. And for the past 6 months, I don't think Blumhouse has actually given us a good movie. We've had Five Nights at Freddy's, Night Swim, and now this. The things I liked about this movie though is I do like that this movie has trauma involved in one of its main themes. Also, a lot of horror movies recently have started to do that. Although this is probably the weakest horror movie I've seen do this trope, I do think it was actually not bad. And having the mom relive her trauma through what's going on with her current daughter is kind of a good idea. The monster design for this movie was actually pretty good as well. I like that it looked very different from what we usually get from these sci-fi horror films. I don't know what the budget for this movie was, but for what they had, I thought they actually shot it pretty well. But let's get into some of my issues with this movie, and the first one is that I know movies do this a lot. When something happens, another character will say what the person just said, or they'll say what they just did, but this movie does it like 15 times. And also, there's not any actors I recognize here, but you can tell that this is probably a lot of actors like first time being on like a big movie, and it definitely shows because I don't think the acting was exactly the best. Also, the jump scares really a criticism, but I actually thought they weren't that bad. But they were bland and predictable and kind of safe. And because of that, that simply makes Imaginary too safe for me. I'm fine if a movie does something that we've seen before, if it actually does it pretty well. But this movie just does it too boring and generic for me to actually care. And there are some bad movies out there that are so bad that they're actually fun to watch, but this movie's not even that for me. And because of that, I think I'm gonna have to give Imaginary a 3.5 out of 10.